people? ¿Qué tal? So, what we are going to talk about right now is me trying out this baby. Took her on a spin. So in my previous video, I talked about doing some new shots of existing work that I had, and this work that I've created in 2018, 2019. That is about the time that I started with painting. And I wanted to do some new shots because certain paintings I was never really capable of getting on camera really well. And then that particular time I had a Sony digital cam, which did its job. But right now, we moved on to bigger and better things. So the reason why I wanted to do some reshots is one, some of the existing work that I've not put on the website, I now do want to put on the website and offer it as affordable art. So as you can see, this is the 45 by 150 mm. Now here is the thing that I had a lot of trouble with. First of all, it is always great to be photographing in daylight, natural daylight. That's the best thing, of course. And also making use of soft boxes. Now, and this is a little bit my own fault. I was starting to photograph my work at a moment that the sun was slowly settling itself down behind the horizon. And listen, it's winter time, so it's not going to be that long that you can enjoy natural daylight. So I really had to find time to get through all of the work that I wanted to photograph, that I want to make new shots of. Another thing that now I'm aware of, as of recently, like the last 2 years, is the way that you use varnish. Varnish is like a liquid used to preserve paintings or other type of artwork. It can also be illustrations, it can be drawings, and it helps you to preserve the work far and beyond into the future. With glossy varnish, it has, of course, a beautiful, beautiful shine on your work, and I absolutely love the way that it looks. It draws the attention, and it just finishes off your work very beautifully. The downside of it is when you want to make photos from that, and that is more from a photography perspective. It has nothing to do with the artwork itself or how an artist presents its work. That has nothing to do with it at all. From a photography perspective, it really doesn't help. I was dealing with a lot of like glares, and just the reflection was really high, and it translates itself back as this huge white spot. And I was already busy for quite some time, so I was like, okay, instead of me frustrating myself, just leave it as it is and create a photograph from that another time and figure out what the best way to deal with this particular issue. I don't consider that to be a huge issue. I don't consider that to be, the detriment of it all. It's just a pet peeve when you look through a lens from someone who, is a photographer. I'm not a professional photographer, but the fact that I am doing a lot of photography on my work and, on myself, and also for social media, there are a number of things that you take into consideration to create the best shot. That is the pain in the buttocks. It just is. Do not let your decision depend on whether you want to use high or matte varnish based on the fact that people can photograph it. If you're doing this, if the photographing is done by a really professional photographer, they will know what to do and how to work around it. They will have lenses huge and big enough. But for me, that's still something that I need to tackle, and I need to study. I need to study that. But other than that, it was just fun. I really take these moments to learn more about my capabilities and what I like. I love photography. I actually like doing that, and it's a great way to keep on practicing. Like, listen, if you don't do it, you'll lose it. This week you will see the paintings online on my website, and you can also require them as being the affordable art range. And I'm actually quite happy to have that as well on my web shop, because not everybody has the same financial space, the same financial resources, and I do want to have a number of works even if it are like 3, 4, 5, for people to acquire, and also just work on a number of paintings that are available in this particular range. So we are in a different scene of the video, and finally, finally, I got the time to finish off my latest drawing. That is part of the affordable art section on my website. When you go to my website, you can find a number of artworks that I've created and offer as affordable art. And affordable art are all art pieces below 7,500 euros. And the reason why I've done that is because I wanted to create something that allows people to have a stepping stone to get into art and not be intimidated by the prices, but get away from the prices and think and open yourself up with your heart. And it helps to offer art that is not as intimidating as people make it to be. Eventually, you will see that people will go to higher prices. I think I already talked about that in the previous sections. I won't divulge too much into that. The thing that I just wanted to show here is how I actually finished the whole drawing in Photoshop. So just a little background on the illustration. There was a certain period, I think it was last year. It was a long period where I was in a funk. I was pretty sober, and it really affected my creative flow, my artistic flow. I didn't really feel like creating anything. I really couldn't put myself to creating anything. And I know it's not really visible on my YouTube. And that is because I just pushed myself to create content. But behind the scenes, there was not a lot going on. And there were some personal, issues that I had to deal with that were happening, with family, with friends. And eventually, they all really had a huge, huge impact on me, on how I just was not really paying attention to how I was using my energy. And I'm a big believer in, that energy is a way of how we attract things, but also a way of how we see income flowing into our lives, or how we spend our income, how we maybe put ourselves to the background and put other people in the forefront. That all comes from your source of energy and how much you value it. So I really had to look at myself and say, hey, what is going on? How are you valuing your energy? Why is it that you do not have enough energy for the things that you love, but other situations, people, scenes are really soaking up all of your energy? So I really had to straighten that out for myself. That led me to this beautiful illustration, which I have named I Will Bloom. And the reason why I've created this illustration is because I wanted to show something that allows us to see the beauty in a sober gray moment. As you can see, it's black and white. I hardly create black and white artworks. You can, when you go to my website and you look at my artwork, everything is in color. I will not create black and white. That is so not in me, because I believe that color can have so much meaning. However, this illustration showed me that, after this sober moment, and actually within the sober moment, there can actually be very beautiful things that you discover about yourself, about life. And beautiful things can be painful. Beautiful things can be confronting. And beautiful things can also be very life changing. Hence the decision for me to quit my job and to really focus more on the art, being contemporary artist and professional contemporary artist, and really delving into that, but also reconstructing my lifestyle and my life around it. Because even though I love contemporary art, I do not feel that it is just the only thing that I do and who I am. There's so much more to me. So through that soberness, I had to straighten that all out and,
This illustration just shows the beauty of it, that there is still beauty, that you still exist, that you still can come forward. And by using different elements, pieces that I had around on my hard drive, the end result really came together the way I felt that it represented that particular time. And I also believe that it represents that for a lot of women, especially women of color, where we are being asked to carry and bear a lot of the world's burdens. However, listen, we are not mules, right? We are not mules. We also have our inner life. We also have our threshold where we say enough is enough. And when you think of it from a perspective where people are, especially women of color, indigenous women, brown, black women, we are being asked to give so much of ourselves to educate people, to nurture people, to soothe people, even though there's so much wrong being done to us. And we just have to take it and smile through it. And this is something that comes from a place that stems from um, the time there was slavery, the time where people were being oppressed, and were basically being asked to endure it all, but still have a smile on your face. And I believe that I felt that so much. I've done a lot of research about that particular phenomenon that we see, that women are being asked to be, you know, uh, these nurturers and basically just emotional mules. I mean, we are not mules, okay? We are human beings, and we have the right to be who we are and to find ourselves in our own vulnerability and our own delicacy without having this actually this forced obligation of being the mother of all. And what I've noticed is that this this illustration, this drawing is actually like a like the start of a new project that I want to create. And I already know the name of it, and I'm going to share it with you all as well, which will be a number of paintings in which I want to delve even deeper into that particular phenomenon that is so prevalent in modern days in the Western world, especially. But yeah, I mean, that's the background of the illustration. I know it sounds very dark and sober, but it kind of was. It was a pretty dark and sober moment. And another reason why I want to share that with you all is to open it up and to allow you as well to know that as a contemporary artist, you might have those moments where there are so many things happening in your life. They definitely will have an effect on your artistic flow. And it is just funny how that can be so such a paradox. There are moments where you see that art actually helps you through it, but it can also affect the art, and it will not be the first tool that you will reach for to help you through it. So it was, it's a paradox. It's funny how that works looking in hindsight. But I'm very happy that it came out the way that it came out. Like I already said, you will see the end result of it at the end of the video. And next week, I will definitely talk and show you um, how the end result looks and what the elements of it are, the deconstruction actually of my own work towards you. It's like a art class that I'm giving actually. So be on the lookout, and we'll definitely do that. But what you're seeing right now is me working in Photoshop. I've worked in Photoshop before, and I've made some digital paintings in Photoshop, or digital drawings. I don't know how you want to call it. It depends on the medium, the type of brush that you're using. There are different brushes, so depending on the brush, whether it's a pencil, charcoal, oil paint, or pastel, I guess you could say drawing illustration. Well, in this case, it's a drawing, an illustration. And my purpose was not to to make it into something completely new in Photoshop. My purpose was more just to enhance certain things, just give a little razzle dazzle, a little highlight, maybe accentuate certain areas. But the way it is just good enough. It was beautiful and good enough for me. So it was not to make, I sketch it on paper, scan it in, and then I'm gonna completely work it out. No, it was already finished for the most part. I just wanted to enhance a couple of things. And that is a great way to combine digital with manual. I'm not against digital, and I don't think that there is any problem using both of them. I definitely see myself as a mixed media artist. I have so many talents that I all nurture. One, is very, yeah, it's very prevalent, painting, of course, but it doesn't mean that I do not like illustration and sketching and drawing and digital drawings and digital paintings. I believe that all can have a beautiful place in my life. Photography all has a beautiful place in my life. So I will never say that digital drawings and digital paintings are not the same as manual drawings, paintings, and such, because who is to say that? Who is to say that? There is, of course, the difference between digital and manual, but art is art. I'm not going to knock somebody down because they create art in a digital atmosphere. I'm definitely not going to do that. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I hope you like the result. I definitely do. I already created the art print and it is available on my website, so you can go over there. I have a special offer on the website till the 4th of December. And what it means is that this art print is available for reduced pricing. So if you're looking for something for the holidays, or maybe as a gift, or maybe something that you want to add to um, your own space, maybe your business venue, this might be the good opportunity to start buying something in my shop. So the website is here on the platform, and I will put it here below as well so that you can have a look at it as well and go over there. So I hope that this explanation is giving you a good insight into what it is that you're seeing. And I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of the video so that you can just watch, enjoy, and just let me know here below in the comments what you think about it and what it is that you would like to see. And maybe you are a digital artist. How are you looking at digital art? Do you consider yourself to be an artist, or hey, how do you look at yourself? I would love to open up that conversation. So let's use that platform here below and have that conversation with each other. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you in the next content.
But the time we first met and the love we found.